We're going to take a few minutes now to talk about declarations in the C programming language. A declaration of a variable is very different from the initialization of a variable. The declaration tells the C compiler that we want a certain number of bytes and a certain type of storage for some use that we have in our program, that we want something that we can put a name or an age or some other piece of information in. So we're going to declare variables in here. Now, declaring the variables all on one line is just fine. Here we have some integers. We have an int called upper and lower and step. Now, this creates those variables, but it doesn't give them any initial value. We'll take a look at a point here where they would get an initial value based on where they're created. But if they're just put in our normal program, they are what is called automatics, and they will not be given a value. Just whatever is in the computer's memory where they're assigned to is what you get until you initialize them. It is better coding practice in C to use separate lines, to have character, first name, this is an array that we'll see a little later with the brackets. So we have a number of characters put together there. We haven't said how many yet, but we're just getting set to be able to do that. And here's a character last name, another array. Here's an integer age. Again, no initialization, just declaration of the variable. Now here's an option where we have created an external variable. Here's an integer I, and it's outside of our program. Here's our little main program, or our main function, which at this point is our entire program. So this is an extern or an external variable, and it lives in a different place in the computer than this integer I does down here. This is an automatic, and it is declared and initialized at the same time. So here we declare an integer I, and we set it equal to the value 0. So that's our best practice, is to get that thing set to some known value before we ever try to use it. This integer I, because of the way C programming works, will be set to 0 as well, because externals are automatically initialized. They are given a 0 value if you don't give them any other value. So that's a little difference in our C programming declarations. So that's about it for declarations. They're very simple to do. Very simple to create a number of variables. And again, you do want to do them on separate lines, because if you have to come back and maintain this program, you want to be able to just add an extra integer or another variable right at the end, rather than trying to figure out where to put the thing on a single line like we had in that earlier slide. Declarations, very simple, and now we'll be moving right along.